Hey everyone, Kyprotonic here. Today I have an underused Pokemon Wi-Fi battle against PokeMai11 from T-Flare, who is the owner and administrator of the main website. So I'm going to keep saying come check T-Flare out because it's a great place to hang out at. Quickly looking at both of our teams, I'm sort of using like a team that is somewhat grab-bagged just from my underused selection of boxes. I just thought this could work. Usually when I just bring random stuff it doesn't work, but you know, whatever, just go for it and have a bit of fun. That's the best way. Potential threats on her end, maybe the Arcanine, just because it can kind of wreck my Registeel, Frostlass pretty much as well. Raikou is always a threat as well in the underused metagame, so I just gotta be careful, probably them two. The other four things are usually like walls, just judging on that anyway. So I'm gonna lead with Frostlass, she's gonna lead with her Raikou. I'm going to switch out just because I want to scout what this Raikou wants to try and do. I don't want to lose my Focus Sash too early, because I kind of felt maybe Frostlass would become a little bit more useful in the game. So I go into Special Defensive Registeel. Judging by the damage, I wasn't too sure because I really don't do damage calculations at all. So kind of remembering the damage calculations from different Pokemon is out of the question there. So I switch out, going to Hitmontop whilst the Snorlax came in from the Volt Switch. I'm going to obviously predict the Earthquake, which probably is the best move for her to go for there. She probably predicts me to go for the Close Combat, that's why she brings in the Roserade. Toxic was my better option there, but obviously with Roserade being part poison, I'm not going to get anything off there. Now here I kind of thought maybe she would go for the Sleep Powder. I know Xatu switching is usually obvious because Magic Bounce ability. But yeah, she goes straight out for the attack. So I'm still thinking maybe this is kind of like a Spiker set for Roserade, which is usually quite common from what I remember anyway. So going to Registeel to obviously resist, or not even. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm immune to the poison attack. So yeah, we do a few switches. I go back into Xatu, thinking maybe the Sleep Powder's probably coming, but you know it doesn't work. So we sort of like double switch out. Bronzong comes in, I U-turn out on that, go back into Registeel. At this point I'm thinking, well, maybe it's a good time just to get my Stealth Rocks up because that Arcanine will come in at some point and it will take near enough about 25% of HP or 20% or so from the Stealth Rock entry hazard. So yeah, we both get up our rocks. Here I'm going to go for Thunder Wave. I know it's going to power up the Gyro Ball, but I kind of thought maybe she wouldn't be carrying the Earthquake, which is probably silly of me to think, but I don't really remember every move or potential set for every Bronzong or every Pokemon or whatever it is. But, you know, I should probably have expected maybe Earthquake as well. But, you know, what can I do? I don't remember everything. So, my best play here is to just go for a few Paralysis on the Bronzong. Hopefully that's what pays off at this point, because, to be honest, I really don't want to switch out into anything else to take a hit, even though I can go into Xatu and be immune to the Earthquake. Nothing else would like to come in on this Bronzong, especially like Frostlass, Kingdra and Chandelure, because there's no point me taking any form of damage, whilst my Registeel is pretty much eating up these Earthquakes. I do fortunately get a few Paralysis that kind of does favour in my side, because I was actually able to now near enough take out this Bronzong. Although I am still taking reasonable amount of damage from the Earthquake. So I think after 4 Seismic Tosses there, I actually do take out the Bronzong, which is great. So now in comes Omega. Of course, May always has this on her team. Now I'm thinking, okay, there's 2 plays she could go for here. One could be Fire Blast, Flamethrower, something like that, or Flare Blitz. Close Combat, for example, could also be a possibility. So I figured Chandelure is a good switch in here, so that's what I do. I go into that. Now, I go for Shadow Ball, not really expecting maybe the switch out there. I don't know, I was kind of like over predicting a little bit. I know the Snorlax switching was fairly obvious, but I felt maybe she would probably go for an attack just to see if I was faster or Choice Specs or something like that. I don't know, I was kind of like playing two minds at once there, so that was a bad play on my behalf. I go into Hitmontop now just because I want to go for the Rapid Spin. Considering that the Bronzong is out of the way and there's nothing probably else on her team that will set up the entry hazard of Stealth Rock. Maybe Spikes is still a possibility with the Roserade, but I figured, you know what, might as well just go for the Rapid Spin. I don't want to be taking like near enough 20%, 25% with my Chandelure every time I bring it in, so yeah, that's what I do. Xatu at this point is still thinking he can Magic Bounce something back to the Roserade, which is not. At this point, I'm still thinking, you know, it's got to be a defensive or variant of this Roserade, but it turns out it's actually faster than me. I'm actually 295 speed on my Kingdra, I know Roserade is usually around 307 max speed or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I go for the Draco Meteor. I know now at this point, with it being faster, it's going to easily take it out. Even though if it was a special defensive variant, it still probably would have taken it out just because it is a modest stab Draco Meteor choice specs Kingdra. So, you know, it's just going to wreck something on her team. Now, I go into my Xatu just because I wanted to sacrifice it at this point. There's no point in having it left on my team because, to be honest, Roserade is out the way and Bronzong. So I go for Toxic on the Snorlax, knowing potentially it could always carry the rest, which is usually a common move on Snorlax. But at this point, I'm figuring, okay, let's just go into Froslass. Maybe she will attack me at some point, which she does straight off the start, while I get one layer of spikes, which is good for me because, you know, the entry hazards are going to start racking up on her side of the field. Now, I'm going to go for Destiny Bond because it's the only other play I could have gone for. I could have gone for the another layer of spikes, but I figured maybe she might not predict the Destiny Bond. I don't know. I don't know if that's fairly common on Froslass. It used to be on 4th gen. So, yeah, double down there. Snorlax and the Froslass goes down. So, at this point, I could probably pause the video, but I'm not going to. I was really cautious of playing around this Raikou because I'm still figuring it's kind of like a choice Scarf variant because she led with it. But then I go into Registeel, I see the damage from the Thunderbolt, and I definitely work out that has to be choice specs because I am pretty much invested in special defense on my Registeel. So at this point, yeah, I'm figuring, okay, I'm about 257 speed, times that by 1.5, that usually makes about 387. I'm just doing math really quickly there. So at that point, I figured, yep, I'm going to take out the Raikou as long as I don't miss the Fire Blast, which it turns out I don't miss, which is great. So I take out the Raikou. Going to switch out now back into my Hitmontop because Slowbro's in. I know Fire Blast would do a decent amount of damage, but obviously resisting it, it's not going to be. It's not a good play for me to do there. So, going to go into Hitmontop at this point. I might as well just Toxic the Slowbro and just get some residual damage upon the Slowbro. I don't really care what set it is because I figured that at this point maybe the game is in my favour now. So I go into Kingdra. I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse just on the off chance that maybe, with me obviously getting like a few paralysis, and some other favours in my side, Draco Medium might miss. That's why I was a bit cautious at that point. So I do take it out with a Dragon Pulse. Arcanine's her last Pokemon, and I do take that out with the Dragon Pulse in the end. So good game, May. Guys, please check out T-Flare. Also, please check out her channel. I will probably see you in a few days with a new game. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.